The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Yeah, there it is.
Hi.
All right.
Welcome to the Ring and All Other Sports. And tonight, I have two. My name is Leo Connors. I'm sorry. Sonny had me laugh.
I'm
And
sorry,
I got
your
two
name is
special
Leo.
guests, Maverick Wow, Sonny Goodspeed, but we're not shaking hands because of the coronavirus.
No shaking hands.
No.
Guys, thanks for coming on.
We did a vicious chest bump, though. So it was
Yes.
good. Yeah.
And Mav is the reason why we are both here today, because Mav brought it to my attention that you guys had never been on before. You guys have both
Not
been
together.
on so
Not
many
together.
times.
No.
So this
together.
is
So
awesome.
this is
I'm
good.
pretty
Yeah.
excited.
I don't know how to be a guest anymore, to
I
be
know.
honest with you.
This isn't your first three-way, is it?
Well, there's no girls. Usually there's at least one girl.
The Devil's Triangle, is that what they call it?
Real. All right. Before this goes way off the rails,
We're 45 seconds in, so
we got a lot of fan questions, and some of them are really good and funny, and some are just wacky.
perfect.
All right. Bobby Rossi says, you both have watched pro wrestling change over the course of time. What do you each like and dislike about the changes made overall? What do you see
You
for
go
changes?
There seems to be more of a stress on the action.
Okay.
A little. Well, there's more of a stress on some of the in-ring action, but at the same time, there's just so much talking.
Right.
So it's like, I can't stand that.
For how long did Ross start with a 20-minute promo leading into the main
Right,
event? You know
yeah.
what I mean? And that stuff I was never a fan of.
Do you think it started then when Raw started doing that there was more talking on the indies?
A little bit, but as
Yeah.
far as like the product itself goes, I had a real hard time with it because we were brought up a certain way,
Right.
Taught a certain way.
Yep.
Excuse me, Corona.
Yeah.
We were brought up a certain way, and to see something you've been doing, you're involved in, you're in
Right.
the thick of it, change while you're in the thick of it
Right.
was tough for me to deal with. I don't know about you, but like
I had a huge problem with it. Yeah.
the more emphasis on the action versus the storytelling part
Right.
of it, because Mav could do either.
Right.
I wasn't built that way. I was a whole lot of show, not a lot of go. You know what I mean? And Mav was different because Mav could
I've always
bulk up
been
to
different,
245. Mav could get down to 190 in
Right.
a weekend. You know what I mean? Like, and
Corona.
Corona.
Yeah,
I'll
coronavirus.
do it to you.
Yeah.
It was actually back then. It was way early, so it was just the.
It was just called
Dos
the
Equis.
flu
It was just
back
the Dos
then.
Equis back then. Yeah. But yeah. So that's the stuff. But now that when you get past that, or for me anyway,
Right.
when I got past it, I love it. I love everything about wrestling. I think I always will.
Right.
I tried to tell myself I'll never watch it and I won't like it because of that.
And you
I
come
still
right
watch
back
it.
to
I
it,
still-
huh?
Yeah, it's just.
I'm just starting to come around to it again.
Okay.
For years, I was just like very down on it, and maybe it's not so much getting over what it's become, but
Yeah.
getting over yourself.
Right.
Really,
Yeah,
it really is. I think
It's really like I could stand here and shout off the rooftops that I don't like it. Guess what? Nobody gives a
yeah.
damn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nobody cares about my opinion. So it's going to go on around me, So why not
I
be part
notice
of
that sometimes I'll go to a show and like every match, someone's got to grab the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's worth it because of a certain, their place on the, like, how good they are or whatever.
Yep.
But then there's times like, why did they even give that guy the microphone?
Yeah.
You know
it
what
just
I
doesn't make
noticed?
sense.
Less classic Derek Dukes matches.
That's true.
Yes.
That's very true.
All right.
Way less.
Listen, he has
Like
a
almost
follow-up.
What about the same?
Yeah. Yeah.
He has a follow-up, though. And if there's a company doing it right now, who are they and why are they
You
doing
talking
it right?
independent wrestling?
Yes.
It's got to be.
He knows this is an independent
Got to be
wrestling.
chaotic and top rope, really.
It
Yeah.
has to be.
Yeah.
Those are the bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Atlantic
set
Pro's
in New
right,
England.
right there, too, pretty much.
It's getting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Atlantic Pro is definitely getting there. But Chaotic's been doing it for 19 years or 20 years. this
something
year?
like that.
Yeah.
Probably 20.
Top Rope's been around 30.
Right.
And they're the standard bearers. You know what I mean? Like you get the North Shore and you get the South Shore.
Right.
And
The disadvantage Atlantic has is they don't, they really haven't had much of an association with training their own guys.
Right.
turning
That's
out
just
a lot of
starting
guys.
now.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference too. Chaotic has
Right.
homegrown talent.
Yes.
That's why when you talk about the top promotions in New England, you throw out Top Rope and everybody throws out Beyond and Limitless.
Right.
Beyond and Limitless use guys from all over.
Right.
They don't use homegrown talent.
Yeah.
That's why Chaotic is its own thing. That's why
Right.
Top Rope is
Exactly.
its own thing. Ryan Drew's turning out talent down there. Brian Fury and those guys are turning out talent up
Right.
here. You know,
Yep.
it's just, and those guys are on those shows and they're being spotlit.
And now they cross pollinate between each other.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
they go down and get some training down there. They get some experience. You know, which that's a big change from
Right.
what we were
Well,
doing.
Limitless and Beyond, like you said, they bring in guys from all over. To me, it's more like a Ring of Honor. How when Ring of Honor
you're
first
exactly right.
started, you
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
But
Yes.
but Limitless though does have Let's Wrestle, where they put lesser known stars and they put some
Sure.
big names on it too.
And
So
they do
you know,
have a school.
Yes.
They have a school. So they're starting. I don't know who does their training up there.
I don't
honestly
either. I
know
don't.
much.
I don't want to say the wrong name.
I did talk to Randy.
Yep.
We're trying to arrange for me to come up there at some
Oh,
point
nice.
to talk to the students or whatever. So I really don't know what's involved up there,
Right.
who's involved up there.
Yep.
But if they start producing talent, to have that type of product in Maine, and then Massachusetts have Chaotic,
Right.
and then Top Rope.
See, Randy talked to me, but it was about making sure Tony Spencer doesn't keep going up there.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, we got Tony Spencer's got to be coming up later. So, all right. Ryan Brown wants to know, Sonny, do you remember the annoying kid in the wheelchair at the ACW shows in Fairhaven?
I'm assuming it was him.
I would imagine so.
If it's him, then yeah, I definitely remember you.
Yeah.
I wanted to push you outside in the cold and flatten your wheels.
See that,
No, I was a
Ryan?
baby face there, right? I was a baby face. Never mind. I love the guys in wheelchairs. Keep coming back. Someday you'll walk again.
On a serious
If you
note,
push him up a
though,
ramp, they
Yeah,
have
push
to
up
keep
a
coming
ramp.
back.
on a serious note, it was great. It was great watching you and Scott Ashworth tag together.
Okay, then yes, I love Randy.
He
Brown,
definitely
Brian Brown.
didn't care for DJ, I guess, because he didn't put him in there either.
Yeah, he might have. Just he didn't want to out himself.
Yeah, really.
All right. All right, so Dave Forney has got a few questions.
Oh, Dave.
Have Mav and Sonny ever wrestled against each other? I think I've
yeah.
been there to see you guys wrestle.
Yeah, we actually for a time we were like
You guys were married?
we were like the match. Yeah,
Right.
we were the
Yeah.
so like if we were getting booked in a new promotion, it was if
Right.
I was getting, I'd be like, hey, let me work with Scott or
Yeah.
Mav. Mav would say the same. As a matter of fact,
I never said the same.
no, he never did. He's like anybody but Sonny.
Right.
So Tony Rumble.
Is
Yeah.
Joel Davis available? Can I work with him instead?
You guys are going to get me sucker
And then,
punched.
hey, and the truth is, nobody booked Joe Davis, so he probably was available. So, but Scott and I, or Mav and I, got booked for Tony Rumble when he was
Yeah.
start running big shows, and Jim Cornette was there and Kevin Sullivan.
wow.
And we were supposed to work together on the show. I ended up being late because I don't know how to read a map.
Yeah.
I didn't at the time, so I drove the longest way around to get to the show. By the time I got there, he's like, "Man, I already filled your spot." Mav ended up getting booked for WCW off that show,
Really?
Yes, I did.
and I sat and watched.
So Kevin Sullivan pretty much said, "Oh, there's a guy I'm going to
Kevin
beat the
Sullivan
shit
was
out."
a Cornette. It was Kevin
Because
Sullivan, right?
I love the story
Kevin was there,
you
yep.
told about.
Yep.
Wow. And I watched it that night again.
Yeah. Scott Dickinson was mostly responsible
Yeah.
for that, though. He really was.
That's what it was. Scott,
Yeah.
so Scott got his book.
Right.
But yeah, so we worked together a bunch of times.
Nice. Before I go into more fan questions, I got to ask you guys, because Jake the Snake Roberts came out Wednesday night at AEW. What are your thoughts on that?
I love that. I love that he came out as a heel.
Yes.
I
Me
love
too.
it.
Yeah.
I love that he's clear of thought enough to do these things now.
And he brought that up too.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
really.
Him sober
Yeah.
on the stick. I dare somebody to follow him.
Right.
Once he gets going, I don't know who he's bringing in.
Yeah.
But whoever he brings in, if he's the mouthpiece for him,
Right. What I thought
Yeah,
was great, though,
it's
is just to see,
crazy.
like you said, to have a veteran like that. Because before, as far as I knew before, it was the Young Bucks and Cody doing the
Yeah.
booking and all that. They should hire a couple of veteran guys, like Arn Anderson's there, Tully's there already.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And now you got Jake.
yeah, but they hardly those types of programs. They
Yeah.
hardly ever bring in guys. The veterans, the legends or whatever,
Right.
and use them as heels. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, normally they're brought in and,
Right.
for the pop.
yeah,
for the
rah,
pop.
rah, and, you're
Yeah.
on your way.
It blew my mind when I seen him
Yeah.
walk out. Seriously.
Using him to that kind of effect is...
Yeah.
To have him just
Yeah.
call Cody a crying bitch.
Yeah,
it's
that
just-
was awesome.
As soon as he said that, I was like, oh.
And if he's gotten
that's
to the
gonna be
point
good.
where people can trust him, he's straightened
Right,
himself out that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
You know, because
That he's reliable.
I mean, you know, because I can think of another time you couldn't follow him on the mic. I remember the Heroes of Wrestling.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Oh my God! If anybody's ever
Did you see
seen
that one?
I don't remember.
Oh Jesus! He had to work with. Was it Jimmy? Was it Neidhart?
Neidhart.
When
They had to
Neidhart-
make it a tag team
When
match. after.
Neidhart is the sober of the two.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord!
It was bad. He
terrible.
was
Oh, was that when he was like talking
simulating.
to the girls in the crowd? Yeah.
Oh, I was like,
remember
wow,
that.
man.
Gesticulating with the snake in
Yeah.
a certain way. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was bad. It was real bad.
I forgot too. DDP's there too. So I mean, it's
babyface,
good to
yeah,
have those guys in there. I think.
Yeah.
I was surprised they didn't reach out to Kevin Sullivan or even Cornette or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Because here you are starting a new promotion. You should at least have brought in a guy that, you know what I mean, that has been around and done it all.
I would be shocked if they reached out to Cornette.
Right.
Given
Oh,
his
yeah.
history
From
with.
what I
with the
understand
Young
about-
Bucks. That's
yeah.
right. I didn't even
Young
think of
Bucks,
that.
Kenny
Yeah.
What I
Omega.
understand about Kevin Sullivan, though, he lives in the Northwest.
Right.
And that's a
Yeah.
hell of a flight.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean, so to bring him in regular.
Right.
So maybe
But a
that's the reason for
mastermind,
that.
though, right, guys? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. There was, at the height of that, there was nobody better.
right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for coming.
All right, thanks.
Oh, was that-
Thanks for watching. All right, so Dave Forney's got some more. What are your favorite memories of the fans at the Hudson Lions Hall?
Oh, the
I
big-
was one of them. I think Dave must have been
Well,
there
the
too.
big butts. Remember the big butts?
Yep, the big butts.
The Emmons.
Oh, the Emmons,
yeah.
for sure.
Oh,
Everybody in Nashville, you know the Emmons. They were there religiously. Costa used to actually book the shows at the beginning of the month
Yes.
around welfare
Crazy
checks.
check day.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
crazy check day.
Crazy check day.
It was
Nice.
it was nuts.
He-
and
yeah.
people would request, can you not seat me next to those people?
Yeah.
Oh, I believe that.
It was insane, but they were there every month.
Right.
And we could rely on whatever, 15 tickets
Yeah.
being sold every single month. So Jeff would purposely say, checks are coming out on Thursday, so we're going to run that show on Saturday.
15
You know,
tickets
not
and
the
12
week-
chromosomes.
Yes. Yeah. You know what I mean? So not the following Saturday because you don't know if the money's going to be there.
Right, right.
Literally the next Saturday. That's
Yeah,
when
because
we
they
book
were
the show.
always there.
Always there, every show.
By the way, my whole goal is to not swear, but be as insulting as possible.
There you go.
during-
All right.
Yeah.
That means you're classy.
So if
Yeah.
there's any Emmons out there watching, too bad.
Yeah, I hear you.
You're
All right,
assuming they have cable.
so the last thing Dave wants to know is if you could wrestle
they have a
anybody
roof.
that's currently wrestling on the indie circuit scene right now, who would it be and why? If you could wrestle one guy that's active right now.
Who wouldn't hurt me?
Sweat Boy.
What?
That was hard to listen to today. No
I'm
offense.
still
No
in it.
offense, dude.
I'm
It was,
still in it listening to
it was really hard.
What?
He sounds like
Some
Chris
guy out of
Sullivan.
a-
Oh, yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way when you're
I
listening
don't
to that?
really, I haven't
I
talked to
know.
Chris all that much.
I know. I probably, and I don't think he's working that much anymore, which is sad. I know in the past you've said Congo.
Yes. Oh, Congo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have a program with Congo.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw him at Nick Steele's deal.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen Congo in a long time. It was awesome to see him. I didn't get a whole chance to talk to him, but
Right.
I love that kid.
I'd like to, if we get through everything, I'd like to talk a little bit about
Sure,
Nick Steele
about Nick,
afterwards,
yeah.
you know?
And me, it's Brandon Locke. I got a chance, I got a chance to wrestle him a couple of times when
Yeah.
I came back about 5 years ago.
Right.
And I think the guy's criminally,
Oh, he's definitely good,
he's-
yeah.
he-
It was so great to see him come back.
He needs to wrestle more.
Yeah.
Right,
I love that kid.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I was there. I was at
You
Chaotic.
guys probably just beat the bag out of each other.
Oh yeah, that too.
I saw him at Chaotic, and they're sitting in the front row, and I'm like, wow, Brandon Locke's like an idiot. Didn't even dawn on me, though, that, he's obviously going to jump in the ring. He's in the front row.
Yeah.
If he wasn't, he would have been in the back hanging around. But great to see him back.
Yeah.
And I mean, how he had bulked up to the bodybuilder thing and then brought it back to the wrestling body. It was like amazing.
That kid is so dedicated, so
Yeah.
strict with everything
Right.
he does. He's always been that way. Like I knew him since from the time he was 15 years old. He just turned 30.
Yeah.
Really?
So he's been wrestling
15
years.
Yeah.
He just turned 30 years old.
Some of his life coach thing kind of drives me nuts, but
So I'm not on social media.
I'm not that positive of a person. So.
There you go.
All right.
That explains it.
All right. Nathan Fuller wants to know, this is a good question, too. Who is the greatest New England wrestler over the last 10 years?
10 years?
Yep.
Got to be Tommaso, and then maybe Hanson Warbeard, whatever the hell they're calling him
Yeah.
now.
I would agree with those two. I'd
Yeah.
throw Brian Fury in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. Brian is-
Absolutely.
I don't know how much interaction you have with Brian lately at all. But man, I told you I go to the schools
Yeah.
and just to watch him to be able to break down a match
Right.
and remember spot for spot and tear it apart and then be able to put it back together.
Yeah.
And then and he can apply it as well. Like
Right.
it's not like he can teach it but can't do it.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see. Like I didn't see it when I was hanging around him and
Yeah.
working, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to see it now,
Yeah.
like
It's amazing, huh?
whew,
He doesn't
so
yell
good.
as much as anymore, too. It's
That's what they say.
That's what a
I
lot of
don't like
guys have
that.
told me.
That's what
that.
they say. But,
I don't like
but
that part.
you
of
know
it.
what I found? Well, when I came back and started helping at the
Yeah.
school, I was the nice guy.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, Uncle Sonny, Uncle Sonny." I'm there now regularly.
Yeah.
These kids,
Yeah.
I'm like, I constantly freak out.
Right.
I go from 0 to 60 for 15 seconds, and then I'm back to normal. You know, but man, I can see. I don't know how Brian does it.
Right.
3 times a week,
Yeah.
4 times a week.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Brian's. In fact, I think I remember of all things, his mother was wishing him happy birthday on Facebook, and I said, "Happy birthday, your son. He's the best wrestler in New England." So,
Oh, see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, there's no doubt he's up there for sure. He's
sure.
awesome. All right.
Oh, and Joey Eastman too.
Who? Just kidding.
No, Joey
I'm
Eastman.
just kidding, Joey. I know who he
you
is.
go,
He's
Joey.
awesome.
Yes.
All right.
is Derek Dukes in a New England
Oh,
original?
yeah. No, he's in Florida.
Now he's in Florida now.
Maybe
but
he's
no.
on a flight to come here, but
All right. Do you guys know Craig Callia?
Yes.
Okay, because he has a lot of questions.
Yeah, I saw.
All right. So he says, what was the greatest character Jeff ever created?
this is only an hour show. That he created and went through with, or just created?
Just great. And left on the living room table.
Yeah, because there was a million.
Or
of
on the
those.
answer machine.
Or on the answer machine, or whatever the case was. Yeah, but Pinky Petunia.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was.
Well, then what else did he do? He did Bart Hart,
Oh, Bart Hart,
Bret
yeah.
Hart, Same guy.
Same guy,
Same
yeah.
guy.
and that had nothing to do with the talent of the worker.
No.
Let me just put that
Right.
out there. That was you're Johnny Bravo. You fit the suit. You know what I mean?
But I mean,
That's a Brady Bunch
I used to love his
reference, but
posters.
Elvis Atlas.
Elvis.
Elvis Atlas.
That was. I was thinking, like, who the hell's that? That was me.
That was
For
you?
one show, I went out and spent $450 in new boots because I had to have white boots.
Yeah.
Wore them one time. I was like, gimmick's not good, so we stopped
Wow.
doing that. Yeah.
Blood-sucking alien.
It's like
Yeah.
a Siamese twins.
That was
Siamese
Rip, right? Was it Rip the Bloodsucking Alien?
Yep.
I was the original blood-sucking
Oh,
alien,
you were?
actually.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Right.
was.
Who was it?
Wow.
What else did Rip do? Blitz.
Blitz.
Yes, he
yep.
did the football
Blitz, the
player.
football
Blitz,
player.
yep.
He was Mike. Why am I? He was Mike Putski.
Yeah,
Mike Blitzky, Ivan's cousin.
Yeah. That was one of Jeff's.
Sure.
Who played Kevin Nash? Ooh,
I don't know. That,
That
was.
was Kevin Nashua was.
He was just a student, and he
Okay.
wasn't around.
Oh, that was
long.
Matt. That was
No, that wasn't Matt.
Yeah, that was
Tarzan?
That was no,
Oh,
the
okay.
other Matt.
No, it wasn't.
Yes. Yeah, it was. And then Kane, the other Kane,
Yeah.
Tarzan.
Yes.
Was Matt. Stingray. Oh, Stingray.
Stingray.
That was Matt.
Stingray. That was Matt. Yes.
Sting.
That wasn't
Ray.
Paul?
No.
I always thought that
He
was
did it-
Paul. I
he
really
did.
did.
He
Oh,
did it once,
Okay.
and he did
Maybe
it
I
like-
was there that night.
He did it
when
a few
did it.
times, and that was after Matt left. And
Okay.
it was like it went from this height to this
Yeah.
height.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt was a big kid.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hunell. That was his last
Yes.
name. Hunell.
Yes.
All right. Would Jeff's approach to character development and work would Jeff's approach to character development work today?
So there really was no character development.
I was going to say, you're assuming that he developed characters.
There were gimmicks.
Yeah.
There
He
wasn't
just went-
any.
He goes,
Like,
hey, you guys are wrestling the Siamese twins tonight.
Right.
What?
He's the
Hey, you're having
best.
you're having a suplex match. What the hell's a suplex match? I don't know. Don't you know how to work?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was his
I
character
actually thought
development.
about this. Is one of the few questions I got a chance to read, and I thought about this on the way down. And I was like, how would Jeff handle it if you went up to him and said, "Excuse me, Jeff, could I take a couple of minutes to discuss my character with you and where I am at now and where you see this going and how we can fully develop this?" And you go, "Get your ass out the door!"
Nice.
Go hang up posters. That's what he would say.
Jeff's the best.
Crazy.
Did either of them feel the industry was more competitive in the 90s and the early 2000s than what they see today between workers and promotions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
There was-
They work
There-
together
there-
now.
yeah, well,
there was
like, you know what I mean?
There was just less spots.
There's less,
too.
less
Just-
quality spots to work.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay.
Yeah. Now there's just. I mean, now you can throw a quarter, and
Yeah.
That's why.
well, you can't throw a quarter
No,
because
I-
of your shoulders.
yeah.
But
But
if
that-
somebody athletic could,
that was
and not held together with duct tape and
duct
bubble gum.
tape and
Yeah.
steel
Super
and
glue.
plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was why back when Sonny and I were wrestling for guys like Jeff and stuff, you were actually part of Jeff's crew, and
Right.
anything you did was like you were sneaking out the door to
Yeah,
do.
that's
You
right.
know, because there were not that many spots to
Right.
fill, even just on local shows. So guys that were busy, like Jeff, who
Right.
ran a lot of shows, you kind of lock yourself in.
There's got to be like at least 20 promotions in
At
New
least,
England,
yeah.
right?
Joey
At
Easton
least.
always told me. Joey Eastman tells me this all the time. He says,
You really like that guy.
I do. I like Joey Eastman. Joey Eastman, you ever heard of him?
Yeah, good guy.
He said that he was
Derek
back
Duke's
in the
cousin.
day. Back in the day, it was Joey Eastman would say that if I tried to get booked on the show, I can't book you. You're one of Jeff's guys.
Right.
We ran into that a lot, and
Yeah.
Jeff wouldn't book one of Eugenio's guys
Right.
or Sousa's guys. Because
and he didn't like it. He actually booked Gorman that one time, and he really didn't want to.
No,
Right.
that did not go well.
no,
Yeah.
no, it did not.
Joe Eastman was there. He said it didn't go well.
No.
All right.
I was there. It didn't go well.
Yeah.
All right. So
right?
Yes.
have Sonny or Mav talk about the difference between being a worker and a promoter.
You promoted way more than I did.
Oh, yeah. I've always said that I was not a good promoter. I mean, yeah. I mean, I can tell you that I approached when I was promoting. I approached it like I was a wrestler.
Right.
You get a couple angles going. You get some decent guys, and it'll just sell itself, and it doesn't.
I can tell you that working for Mav as a promoter was awesome.
Right.
It was like it was because you always knew what you were doing. You always knew what he expected
Yep.
out of you. But he also gave you free reign and trusted you as well. Versus working for some guys where they don't give you any direction
Right.
or don't tell you anything, and then you go have the match, and then you come back and they're like, "What the hell was that?"
Right.
I don't know. I just did what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Mav
Shoulda
was
told me.
always great to work for that way. I loved working
Nice.
for Mav, and whether we had 150 people in the house or 50 people in the house, I always had a blast.
12.
Or 12, sometimes 12. I was going to leave those out. Trying to stroke your ego, guy.
All right. Do you guys, do they see the workers they trained teaching the same or different styles to their students?
I mean, I guess I didn't really train like Fury, but I can see, a little of the influence from Jeff.
Right.
I mean, as much as maybe he wouldn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
But I mean, geez, talk about guys that were like gas in a match. I mean, for all the bickering back and forth that Bradley and Jeff did, they were pretty alike. So
Really?
they really were.
Oh, no
More than either one of them cared to
I only met Steve once when he played Santa
But
that time.
right.
That was it. I didn't even know it was him until he took the stuff off.
But yeah, I do. I see certain things
Right.
out of guys that I've worked with over the years that I was like, maybe you pick that up for me.
Right.
Maybe I just think that highly of myself.
It is. It's weird though that I say that all the time, and Joey Eastman always reiterates this. Says that when you were a Jeff guy, when you were trained by Jeff, we all kind of did our own similar move sets.
Right.
So I could sit in a crowd now and watch guys trained by Jeff and be like, "That's a Jeff guy,"
Right.
versus a guy trained by Sousa.
Yep.
And you'd be able to, because they worked a different style or a
Right.
different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'd be able to pick them out. And now you can still see that a little bit. Like I could pick out a Brian Fury guy. I could
Yep.
pick out a Ryan Drew guy. I could pick out a Bo Douglas guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just kind of see similar things.
Yep.
Just like I know that's the way Brian teaches or Brian
Right.
does that or whatever the case is. So I think just kind of like anything, it dumbs down, or not dumbs down, but it
Right.
trickles downhill.
There's more
So, a little
overlap
bit.
now. There's
Right.
so much more overlap. There really is.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see a lot of guys don't just train at one place.
Yeah.
And whether it's because they want out their welcome
Yeah.
or whatever, they've been trained by different guys.
Yeah, Joey Eastman always tells me that he says that he goes, wrestling's like painting a picture, right? I'm going to tell you that I want ducks, a rainbow, and a tree.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you how to paint it.
Yep.
But here's the tools, paint it.
Yeah.
Right. So as long as at the end of it, I see ducks, a rainbow in a tree, I'm happy. You know how you get there,
Right.
and that's the difference
That's up
between
to
the way
them.
he trains versus the way I train versus
Right.
the way Brian trains versus you know what I mean. Like
Yep.
it's just it's all it's all individual. That's wrestling is. It's an art,
Right.
You know, and you can't dictate how an art works. Like you can't say this is the way it goes. This
Right.
is the way it has to be.
It's going to sound trite, but that thing we wrestle on is called a canvas.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it is an art.
Yeah.
That
It's
was
definitely,
good.
I mean, I've always knew it was an art. You know
I'm
what I
saving
mean?
that up.
I'm going to, instead of being episode 172, I'm just going to call this episode Joey Eastman.
That's good. Yeah, Joey Eastman would appreciate that.
I think he would.
Yeah.
He actually has some comment in here later. All right, last one from Craig. Ask Sonny about the billboard he saw in Old Vegas during a wrestling trip that advertised deep fried Twinkies.
Can't. This is a family show.
All right, okay. You can
Let's
tell
just
us
say-
off here.
Yeah, let's just say I got a little excited about deep fried Twinkies, and it wasn't so much the deep fried Twinkies that got me excited.
Right.
The price was good. It was 99 cents. It was more the advertising.
Have you ever had deep fried Twinkies? Because I have. I've had deep
How
fried
could I not?
Oreos
It was
too.
99 cents, and the girl was filleting a deep fried Twinkie
Yeah,
on this live billboard.
Nice.
I almost.
That was
my
about
knees-
as clean as you can make that.
Yes, filleting. That's the word. Kids, don't Google it though. But I'm watching this, standing on the street, watching this thing. My knees buckled a little, multiple times. And I'm watching. It led me right to it.
Right.
And yeah.
That's all right.
Brian Fury and I just talked about this story just a couple weeks ago.
Didn't you actually have it and like stand up and applaud?
Yes, I did. I ate it and I stood up and gave a slow
Nice.
clap to the guy who made it. It was tremendous.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Craig, thanks for the questions. I think that's the first time, maybe the second, that Craig has asked questions. I think he might have asked when you were on before, but I'm not positive. Nathan Fuller loves the WWE, guys. Will Brock Lesnar drop the Raw title to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 36?
I say yes.
I think so. Yeah.
I hope so.
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm just starting to really kind
Right.
of pay attention.
What do you
but
guys think of Drew McIntyre then?
He's really, really good.
He's really good.
He's
Ever
really
since they
good.
just kind of doing this little bit of where they let him have the mic and
Yeah.
just talk and a little more of
Yep.
himself. A million times better.
And
A
that,
million
what
times
do they
better.
call it? The Claiborne kick or
Yeah, the
something?
Claiborne kick.
Claymore
Wow.
kick. I believe.
Oh,
Claymore.
Claymore. Yeah,
Yes.
the
It's
Claymore.
incredible
The
finishing
Liz Claymore
maneuver.
kick, I think it's called.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what Joey Eastman calls it.
Yeah, but I agree. I hope at least that Drew McIntyre wins the title.
I think that's the way to go.
And all right, what did you guys think of Goldberg winning the title, though? Honestly, I mean, does he need a belt? No, right?
Does he
He's
need to work?
Goldberg.
That was my thing. Does he really need to be working? I mean,
Right.
I know what it is. It was what? Where are they? Where do they? Have
Saudi
that?
Arabia. So
Saudi
there was
Arabia.
big payday.
So that well, it's not just.
payday.
I don't think it's just big paydays.
Okay.
I think they insist on
Certain guys.
They're
That's why
paying.
the Undertaker still works over there.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's not the first time Goldberg has been over there.
No,
So
exactly.
that makes sense,
They,
right?
they insist on certain.
Right. And they insist
levels.
on no women matches.
Right.
But they had one
they
last
them,
time.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they're all covered up. But I don't mind it. Whatever.
Right.
It is what it is. I'm sure somebody a lot smarter than me has a plan, and it'll play
Like
out,
Matt?
and I'll just watch. No, I said smarter than.
Crazier than that doesn't count.
crazier than
That
doesn't
don't count?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Ah, you guys are great. JP Griffin, what was the best match or feud
I hate this guy.
each of you booked?
I'm kidding. I like Jesse Griffin. I'm sorry. I like him.
I do too.
Yeah.
He's very tall.
I don't know who he is.
You don't even know JP?
I'm sure I met him. All right.
What was the best match or feud each of you booked or put together? Which is pretty much the same thing, booked and put together, right? I mean, unless it was like your match yourself and you put it together.
I mean, mine. I always go back to Rip.
Yeah.
It's just, but yeah, whether or not you would call that a program or not, that was more like that was Jeff. That worked last time. Get out there.
That's the one thing I always said, and Joey Eastman and I talk about this all the time, that I was missing from those Jeff shows were continued storylines.
Right.
Jeff would look at that match and go, that match was good. Let's do it again.
Right.
But never give anything behind
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
It was just a match just to have a match. You
Yeah.
know? That's why I worked with Gary Gold 8 million times.
Well, it's funny. You even told a story here. No, it might have been on another podcast, but you had said that Jeff would sit there at the front door and go, "Oh, here's Mav.
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah.
gonna
yeah,
work?
he was.
Oh, look, here
I'm
comes
not
Sonny.
lying about that.
No.
He would literally sit, watch you walk to the
I
door.
love Jeff.
He goes on one side of the table. He goes on the other side of the
the
table.
best.
Yep.
And that was the match.
Right. He's the freaking
You know,
best.
Kevin sitting there at the door with his gun.
Oh,
Rick
yeah.
sitting at the door with
setting
his gun.
setting up his wrestling figures.
He was always so nice to me, Kevin. He really was.
He's a
Jeff
nice
was
guy.
too.
Yeah, he's
You know, Kevin, we got to get him on here.
you know,
Kevin.
That's a great idea.
I would say the most generous thing I was ever booked in was by this guy.
Yeah.
Where Sheldon was
looking for Sheldon.
Sheldon was bringing in Doug Williams.
Right.
And which I feel I didn't give enough of a payoff on. Well, no,
Right, no,
not money. I mean, I didn't feel I performed.
Okay.
It was. I would get in these things where I would think I could go physical with anybody, and I kept up with them. Don't get me wrong, but I went back and watched a couple of the matches, and they really didn't have any heat, and I consider that my fault because here's this guy coming from overseas, and you know, really,
He was really good too, though,
of
huh?
course he was.
But you were a babyface.
Yeah.
champ too, right? Bringing in a guy who's really unknown,
Right.
except to the boys.
Right.
You know what I mean? The boys knew who Doug Williams
Right.
was and knew he was a phenomenal talent. But I knew if I was going to get a good match out of this, I don't want this guy to come all the way to New England. I mean, all over from England
Right.
to work a shitty, a stupid
Sorry.
match. You know what I mean? A bad match.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, who can I put him with?
Right.
Yeah. I put him the real English guy with the crappy Syracuse English guy.
I never thought he was all that crappy, but I understood why you didn't. Yeah.
Who's that?
Zachary Springate.
Oh, all right.
I'll say it.
Didn't
He's
you-
probably not watching.
Didn't you fire him and his
Yeah,
brother?
I loved it. No,
Yeah.
I actually wanted to keep the kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's a
okay.
nice
Because
guy.
I listened to
Yeah.
that again today because
Yeah.
I don't have the
ISIS
wrestling
Effects
podcast
now,
about
isn't it?
nothing
Yeah,
anymore.
ISIS effects or something.
Yeah,
he's
I can't
working as?
pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah, ISIS effects or
Yeah.
whatever. But is it ISIS? I don't know. Whatever it is.
Yes. Power of
But
ISIS. ISO.
He was kid transcendent. I actually
Right.
liked the kid.
Yeah.
And I didn't want him to be guilty by association coming
Yeah.
to Springate.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't a fan of Springate's work.
Right.
Yeah, I thought he just did a poor man's English gimmick, and I said, well, I'm bringing in an English guy
Right.
who's English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of you's real, one of you's is not.
Right.
You know, it's Shaw's brand versus Ovaltine. What are you gonna do? You know?
You guys too much. All right, Todd Graham. Just tell some Shane Sharp stories, one or two.
I know him probably better than Sonny
All right.
did.
Give Todd a couple stories.
Well,
Story,
I don't know
at
if he's
least.
looking for humorous stuff because I don't really have a lot of humorous stories about.
What do you have? What kind of stories?
Oh, I do.
I mean, I have good stories about.
All right.
Bill is. I'm calling him Bill. His real name.
Fourth wall.
Yeah, really. Shane Sharp was really, really, really small, but really, really talented.
Right.
I think he originally. He probably did whatever Todd was doing at the time, and then he trained with Knuckles, and that wasn't working out for him. You know, and whatever. You know, I don't know Knuckles that well.
Right.
You know, for some reason, people thought I had heat with Knuckles at Nick's funeral. For God's sake, I don't understand why.
Right.
But so he came and started training with me, and I took to the kid very quickly. He was a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Super likable guy.
Very talented, very adaptable. I mean, he was great.
Right.
You know,
Always willing to help with anything.
Really?
Anything. Oh, anything.
I'd put him with I'd put him with me, or I'd put him with Joe Puffer, who was
Yeah.
another criminally underrated guy around here. He could work with anybody, and he
Nice.
was really, really good. And I'm sorry to see he's not doing it anymore.
No,
You
but
know?
he has a good job.
Yeah.
Communication towers.
Okay.
So I see him. I used to see him once a year at Scott's house, Big Scott's house, and for WrestleMania party
Yeah.
or something like that. And I always love seeing him. It's just like literally just like I saw him last weekend.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's awesome.
Nice.
But my quick story.
Yeah.
Driving out to Chicago.
Oh yes.
I don't know. 5 of us in a van.
Yeah.
5, 6 of us in Dave's
Dave's
van.
that you guys trashed and
That we
ruined.
trashed, that he literally just got divorced.
Right.
So we said, let's take you away so you can get away from this and get your head on straight. And Bill's driving, I don't even know, 85 miles an hour, not blinking like this. And I'm snoozing in the front seat, and all of a sudden we hear, "Boosh!" And I look over, I go, the hell was that? He goes, never mind, we hit something, don't worry about it, just keep going. We're just gonna keep going. Didn't even blink. Nope, we're just gonna keep going. Nothing. Well, nothing. Probably something in the road. It's fine. We'll keep going. We make the next stop. the front end is one whole side is just missing pieces. We took Dave around the van the long way so we wouldn't see it.
Right.
He didn't see it. We got back to New Hampshire, parked.
Must have been ripped.
No, he was getting divorced. His wife paid for the van. He was like,
There you go.
Yeah, he was over it at that point.
Well, that's a good story. then.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Shane Sharp is just, I love Shane.
All right, Aaron Morrison.
Star maker.
Yes. Did Sonny and Johnny Royal puke while hiding in the balcony at Newport, Vermont, while myself and Jeff Goodspeed were busting each other open in the ring? Not saying they drank too much of the gay rum, but not saying they didn't either.
What?
Not saying that they didn't either.
I forgot about the gay rum. Yeah, that was.
So I read this. I didn't understand this
So
question.
this is one of Gary Langevin shows up
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Yeah.
And remember when
Green
I'd
Mountain
bring-
Wrestling.
I'd bring
Yes.
Pump up with me.
Yep.
And he worked as Jeff Goodspeed. I completely forgot
was
about
it?
Jeff Goodspeed. He worked as the Great Pumpkin.
Okay.
And then
Jeff
Caesar Suave.
DeLand, I believe.
Yeah,
is
Jeff DeLand. Yeah,
All
I
right.
just saw him at a chaotic show a couple weeks ago. But holy Christ, I completely forgot all about this. The night before, we stopped and we were picking up all this liquor and stuff. We were in the hotel room, and I remember Mike Steele picked up a bottle of rum. He's like, "Hey guys, look, I got rum," and it was like Cabana Boy rum. So we're like, "Mike, you got the gay rum. That's what you got." So it became the gay rum.
Right.
I literally forgot all about this until just now.
Nice.
And,
Thank
so
you,
part of
Aaron.
the angle was Johnny Roll and I were fighting up. We fought up the balcony, and then in this Newport arena or ice skate rink or whatever
Right.
it was, there was a balcony above, or town hall or whatever it was. There was a balcony above with nothing in it,
Yeah.
and all the fans were down below. So they were working out the finish or doing whatever they were going to do. Royal and I just walked up there. We would crawl like so people couldn't see us,
Right.
hitting the floor, and then we'd pop up. One of us would pop up. We'd go back down. Crawl some more, hit the floor. The other one would pop up, and we just did that around the balcony
Right.
so they could do the finish. Johnny Roll may have thrown up. I don't really know.
That was,
I know I didn't.
That was actually at a rec center in
That's what it
Newport.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the shores of scenic Lake Hermaphrodite.
Yes, Lake Maverick. That's right.
I only went to one Green Mountain show, the one that was around the
In Nashville,
Rotary. Yeah,
yeah.
that was a fun show though.
Those are some.
Good times.
We could do an hour show just on Green Mountain.
And maybe we will next time.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
so much fun.
All right. Guys, we've been waiting for this question. Dan Bollier wants to know, can you discuss Derek Duke's ECW career?
So I've been pretty much giving this away the whole show. I never heard of the guy. ECW career. I don't know that he had. I don't know that he had a GCW, an NCW, an ICW, a QCW career.
I'm 100% honesty. When I met him,
Right.
well, when I thought met him
Yeah.
was the first time back
When you
here.
when you did the first time you were on
And
the show.
He gives me the handshake, brother.
Yeah.
Gives me a hug, and I literally, in my head, that was the first time I had ever met him.
Right.
But he talked like we knew each other forever, but I couldn't place him anywhere.
Right.
I literally couldn't place him anywhere. And then he kept telling me that everybody keeps saying, "Oh, he worked in ECW," and I'm like, he didn't work in ECW.
No, he
There's
did
no way.
security for sure.
And that might
I
be-
know that he
may
definitely
be.
did that
Yeah.
at the shows around here.
Yeah.
But I will say this: when we went to that the Icons of Wrestling, and then
Yeah.
we catered for Tommy Dreamer that night.
Yeah.
When we were walking around, the ECW guys knew him though, because they'd call his name out. But I don't think
but
he's ever
again-
had a match either.
No, I don't think he had. And then the thing with calling out the name, so guys that hang around the business,
Right.
those
Hangers on.
the
Yeah.
hanger on,
Yeah.
right? Like you'll get to know them
like a
because they'll be like,
like a snot in the wind.
yeah, hey Derek,
basically.
can you run to the store, give me some cigarettes and some beer or whatever?
Right.
Yeah, no problem. So Derek becomes your go-to guy.
Right.
So you gotta remember Derek.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think the situation was.
Yep.
I can honestly say that I don't believe that Derek's ever had an actual match. I don't think he was ever actually trained. They might have taken him in the ring before the show.
Right.
Hey, we're going to do this really dangerous bump. I don't want to take it.
Right.
Derek! Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait for Derek to come back from getting us our subs. Then let's get him in here and
Right.
try to kill him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think that's the situation.
Wait
I
for
think-
Wait for Derek to come back from getting our subs and Percocet.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I think that Derek might have overstated his cup of coffee in the business.
Right.
That's my honest to God feeling.
Big
I-
Woody said the same thing.
I
when you
don't
were sitting
know.
there.
I never had a bad
Right.
interaction
Yeah,
with him
yeah.
at all. I just don't perpetrate a lie. Like just,
I don't-
There's no point because
I don't
especially because it's gonna get found out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like wrestling, as big of a business as it is, it's a small business.
Right.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
Jesse Martineau asked that question, and Derek's answer was to shut the cameras off when I get in the ring.
Horseshit, because when you're in the dark,
Yeah.
that's when they're testing all the cameras. That's when they're doing
Right.
the angles. That's
Right.
how's the lighting and everything. The cameras are on.
Right.
Maybe everybody shut their eyes too.
Maybe.
That could be it.
Maybe.
All right. So a follow up on
Could
something.
have been.
How about the New Hampshire Doink, John Maloof?
So,
You know this guy?
I do know John Maloof.
What?
Yep. I do know John Maloof. John Maloof.
He's a friend of Derek's too, by the way. Seriously.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
He
perfect.
is.
So the two of them can go together. 100% certainty that guy was not Doink.
No,
Joey
never.
Eastman can verify this.
Right.
He was not Doink. Joey Eastman, because Joey Eastman was the Doink.
Right.
The New England Doink. Is that right?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, right. Because why not? Because
Right.
John Maloof apparently was.
Yeah.
So Joe Eastman can be too.
So
John Maloof was 100% certain.
I felt bad when this all came up because I actually found a picture of Maloof with Jen and Amato.
Was he wearing a bandana?
I don't remember.
He was, because he always
He
wore one.
didn't even do the paint right.
No.
Do you know what I mean? He looked.
wasn't.
What was it? He looked like a Three Stooges Doink
He
or
probably-
something.
Like Dave did a clown gimmick for Jeff,
Yeah.
and we used to call it Slummy the Clown. It was actually
supposed to be-
Oh, I
Slammy
remember
Clown.
that, yeah.
Yeah, but the first time he wore it, he
Yeah.
got smudged on his gear, and he never came out, so we called him Slummy the Clown.
Yeah, and he still looked better than Akuma Matata. Yes.
Nice. So you guys are saying not a Doink in the WWE.
What do they say? Fake news.
Fake news. There you go.
Wait, in the WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah, he claimed that.
He claimed
You know
that's what I'm
that
saying.
part of
He's
it?
claimed
I thought
that.
he just claimed he was like the New England guy.
Nope, that he's done spots
No.
when they needed him to.
No, that's Ashworth did it around here.
Right.
Ashworth did it the best around here.
Right.
No.
There were a lot of doinks around here because they used to do those fan access things
Yes.
before WrestleMania. And I remember one year, I think it was in Connecticut, and they did a dunk the doink tank.
Yes.
And they gave a lot of, I think Tony DeVito had a suit.
Yeah.
I know
Nice.
Phil
I
Apollo.
love Tony.
And a lot of guys just kept the suit.
Right.
And they did doink. Or Phil was so lazy he'd rent the suit out to other people.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, no, John Maloof was not.
No.
Right.
Yeah. Joe Eastman, verify that, please. Put
Thanks,
that on
Dan.
Wikipedia.
Ryan Drew's got a couple things. Recently, Sonny said that nobody wants to see anybody work a headlock for 3 minutes. Where'd you say that? On what podcast? Because it wasn't here.
No, it was probably on. It's probably on
Truth,
the truth
justice,
and all,
and
Okay.
in
What did I
the
say?
non-handshaking way.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Can you elaborate on this? And does Mav agree or disagree? And if not 3 minutes, what is the new appropriate time to work a hold?
I think he's ribbing me. Is what he's doing. Like, I don't think. What I was saying in that
Yes.
is that when we worked, you could work a headlock.
Right.
You know, for spots.
Yep.
You can get 8 minutes out of a headlock,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You do little things in between, but you can get. And if you're going 12 minutes,
Yep. That's perfect.
yeah, right.
Do
So back
8
in the
minutes
day-
a headlock.
Yeah. So, but you do the little spots
Yeah.
in between, and you always come back to the headlock.
Right.
But it's societal. I don't think as society changed or pro wrestling business changed.
Right.
Try watching Dirty Harry today. Does Dirty Harry stand up?
True. Compared to some of the movies,
Compared
yeah.
to the new movies
Right.
today, you try throwing a 19-year-old kid sit in front of what's that Charles Bronson movie? Those,
Right.
whatever those are.
Death
Death Wish.
Death Wish.
I
yeah.
love those movies.
The original Die Hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? Any of those.
Yeah.
They just don't hold up
Right.
to what
We see today.
Well,
what I see today. Like I look at
That's because
John
Bruce
Wick.
Willis couldn't work a headlock.
That's
it.
3 minutes. So I don't know that there's a new standard.
Okay.
If I could watch a match, I can appreciate a match where they work it.
Right.
But the average fan,
They don't. I don't even think they know what they were seeing.
they don't have the
Never mind the
attention
attention span. I don't think they know what they were seeing.
span. And I don't think it's the boys, the workers that are causing that.
Right.
I think it's society.
Right.
I think because now you can pick up your phone and get news
Yeah.
quick, right?
Immediately.
Whereas never used to have to wait the next day for the newspaper. And if it wasn't in the print by 4 o'clock or
Yep.
whatever, that the
You
following-
waited 2
the
days.
before day,
Yeah.
you waited 2 days for
Right.
it, right? When's the last time you read a newspaper,
A while.
right?
Yeah.
Now you can just go online, Google, hey, what is it, right, and find everything.
Yeah.
It's just our society is changing,
Yep.
and I think everything is following along with it.
Right.
Like, just look at all the rules recently instated in football and baseball and
Yes,
basketball.
yes.
Where they try to make the game faster.
Yep.
right? Baseball especially.
Yeah, they don't. You like 5 seconds to throw another pitch or something like that.
Right? Because you ever watch a Tim Wakefield? Tim
Oh,
Wakefield
dude, he'd
game,
step
right?
off the mound after every pitch.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved watching that
Right.
defensive game. Not for everybody though,
Right.
right? Because now you sit, oh, Jesus, flipping.
Hurry up.
Right? If you don't catch their interest in the first 15 seconds, you're not catching interest.
Right.
Goodbye. Yeah.
So I think wrestling has gone the way of society, movies and songs and
Right.
everything else. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Listen to a song. If it doesn't have a hook, if it doesn't catch you right away, it's not catching you. You know.
You feel the same?
I do. I mean, which is kills me because nobody leaned on the headlock more than I did. But yeah, it's tough to that whole formula of just going back to the same thing.
Right.
It doesn't really exist anymore, or it doesn't really work too well.
Right.
Which is me a little sad, but it's but there's still a place for grabbing on, and it's just
Right.
you have to change it up a lot more
Right.
now.
Yeah, exactly. It requires more. Like when you watch wrestling, Bruno Sammartino could
Yeah.
get, they could go 45 minutes and work a headlock.
Yep.
When we were in it, you couldn't. There's no way you could get 45 minutes. But we would get 8 or 9, and the old timers then would go like, you're doing too much, because you did the little things in between.
I think it was Jeff that told me one time that Walter had to, Killer Kowalski had to work with Primo Canera. Is that how it's pronounced?
Big Primo Canera.
And he didn't know how to do anything. And he's like, well, what do you know how to do? I got a headlock. We got a match.
Yeah.
We got a match.
Right?
That was
you can't
how
really do
yeah,
that nowadays. Like, it's just different.
Okay.
Not bad or worse or
Right.
better or anything. Just different.
Ryan Drew, what's with Front Row Wrestling coming back, Mav?
Yeah, I heard Mike Crocker sent me a text today because I had no idea about this. He goes, Front Row Wrestling's back. Or he goes, Tony Spencer's running Front Row Wrestling.
Yep.
I go, what?
It's I believe it's a one-off thing. Tony's running a hall up in Rochester that I used to do. He's doing so with my blessing. He asked me, I told him, really, you can do what you want with it, and I request that you don't use one person in particular, and that was pretty much the guidelines I gave
It wasn't
for
Joey Eastman, was it?
It's always Joey Eastman.
Sorry, Joey.
No,
Tried to get you a
I'm
booking.
not gonna mention her name.
It's
and
fine
we'll
that it
go
was
that
Eastman.
far.
Okay. All right. Anthony Mark Balkus. How does Sonny like working with APW, and does Mav have anything to do with wrestling anymore?
This is pretty much it for me. I mean,
He does the show.
He does the TV show.
really, you've been to Anthony Green shows in Gardner. That's
Yeah.
5 miles down the house.
Really?
Down the road from my house.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet. He's
Right.
had 3.
I couldn't
It's
go there
nothing-
this week 'cause I
it's
had
nothing,
plans.
It's nothing against him. It's just, like I said, I'm just slowly starting to kind of get comfortable with it again. So I don't know. I don't know how I get comfortable with my whatever place I would have in it,
Yeah.
So, but I will be at the front row show. So, that'll be odd for me.
Right. That's pretty cool, though. I mean, at least he had told me he wanted to run one show when he was on here before. He wanted to run a show in New Hampshire. So I know Dan Boley is going to be very happy because he wants more shows in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
All right.
He won't be happy with that one.
All right, so guys, listen. I had asked originally, and I blocked you from the question so you couldn't see it. I wanted stories. I wanted someone to start a story and then have you end the story. So I got 2 of them. Jared Doomling says, for Sonny, once upon a time at a chaotic wrestling show, there was an arm wrestling contest. I don't remember that. Do you?
Sorry, Jared.
All right. So we only got 9 minutes. So, all right. Dave, how do you say his last name?
Alert.
Says, ask Sonny,
DJ Barron.
ask Sonny about driving home from Connecticut and Mav about how we had to leave him in Boston.
Oh,
Do you remember that story?
yeah, kind of.
All right, so I don't remember what brought us to Boston. I think we were just going to go hang with Amato.
Yeah,
At a club.
I think it was his birthday
Yeah, that makes more sense.
at a
'cause
place called the Lear.
I have no idea what it was called, but I just remember we drove down there. I think we walked in. I was just getting my ID finished being checked, and Mav was already hammered. Mav had 2 drinks or whatever. Mav's not a big drinker. None of us really
I
were.
was at that point. I was.
But he got drunk fast.
So yeah, I can. So Here we go. I go to the bar, and a good friend of mine, Jesse Scott, who I love.
Yes.
So he goes, I want to have a drinking contest with you. Okay. So we go up to the bar, and we both get a rum and Coke, and he starts to sip it, and mine has a straw in it. I take the straw and I throw it away, and I just go wham, throw it down. And he just looks at me. I quit. And about 5 later, in about 10 minutes, because I was wailing them. It was bad.
It was
Shane.
fast.
That's my Shane Sharp story. Really, it ain't much of a Shane Sharp story. He's like, I have never seen anybody drink to get wrecked that fast in my entire life.
Now, were you drinking booze or beer?
Booze. I don't drink beer.
Okay.
I was a friggin' animal. I don't know how I didn't get that shit kicked out of me, and I'm sorry I swore, but I was like, guys' girlfriends were in the bar, and I'm shooting go behinds on them, and I would try to wrestle. It was
It was something. I always remember at one point we were like, all right, hey, we're gonna start heading back. He's like, nah, I'm staying. Tony
So you
Hampshire
stayed?
ended up bringing you back?
Huh?
You stayed at
You
Tony
didn't
Hampshire's house.
do that, you.
Did you not stay with Tony Hampshire at his house?
I did. That's not how it happened.
I don't remember how it happened.
No,
because
I
had
don't
the
remember
worst
how it
memory.
happened. And all right, leaving. We're gonna collect Mav. I ain't taking that guy home.
I don't think that's how it happened.
That's how it happened.
I don't think so.
That's how it happened.
But Tony Hampshire, God bless him and his ex.
Yeah.
Right? You ended up sleeping on their couch or something? Or
Yes,
you have
I
a
did.
little-
Yeah. No, I didn't have a
No?
little-
All right.
No.
All right.
Even if I did, I mean, my wife watches these things. I wouldn't admit anything beyond that.
Yeah.
And I did not sleep with Tony or his wife or any combination thereof. Don't worry about it.
All right.
And then
I
the
was
story-
drunk out of my mind though, which
It
I
was
have
crazy.
told you before. It was wow. Yeah, it was. I usually don't drink in public,
Yeah.
and that's why, because I get
It was
way out
I've
of
never seen
control.
anything like it. So fast. Like that fast. It was
Because
so quick.
my wife has banned wrestling parties from my house.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So I got so plowed on it. It was terrible. Like I used to collect swords. I came downstairs with a sword. It was ready to cut people in half. And like poor Dr. Heresy had to apprehend me. But
And if Doc Heresy is the ones trying to keep you sober,
yeah.
back then that was an issue.
But then Sonny had a rather fun karaoke event at one party.
At one of your parties?
Yes,
Jeff
he was
Ref?
completely sober. Yeah, he
I made him sing a whole side of a
him
CD.
and
of karaoke.
his girlfriend who was also deaf. It was a sight to see. I was
Not so much to hear, but it was
Yeah.
a sight to see.
I was sober at that one, and at that point, I wished I wasn't. My wife was like, "We're all just going to hell.
Yeah.
We're all going to burn.
Yeah.
This is."
But we had a
make him
blast
stop."
going there.
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sure.
When we go,
Yeah.
when we go, we're gonna get there. I guarantee we're getting high fives from Satan.
He loves you, Satan.
I love you guys' work. Very good. Very
guys.
good.
You guys get a seat right here on the right side of me. Yeah.
All right, guys, we got a little less than 5 minutes left. I wanted to talk to you guys about, Nick Steele just passed
Before
away.
we do this, can I tell my Connecticut story real quick?
Yes.
Because this involves
Oh, I
DJ.
thought they were together.
No,
That's why.
no, this is
Okay.
different. So Dave and I are working for Bob Evans in
Yeah.
Moose Up, Connecticut. It's my birthday. They have a little bar, Moose Ups. That's right, Moose
Lips.
Ups.
Yeah.
So it's my birthday. I go up. I go, hey, I'm gonna have a beer. Dave goes, I'm gonna go. Dave smokes marijuana or used to, not anymore. I'm not a big drinker.
Yeah.
But it was my birthday. Guys were like, hey, let me buy you beer. Let me buy
Right.
you beer. But next thing you know, I'm drunk, and we have a 2-hour drive back to New Hampshire. Dave assumes that I'm gonna drive. He's outside. He doesn't know that I'm getting all sorts of cucka-faced.
Right.
Yeah, in the bar. So we get together and he's like, you can't drive. I'm like, well, I can't even stand. So we get in the car. Dave starts driving on the highway. I look over, 45 miles an hour on the highway. He's like this. I go, Dave, you gotta find a bathroom. I gotta pee. Because
Yeah.
when I have to pee, I have to pee. He goes, well, the next stop. I look at the thing, next stop, 10 miles. I go, nope, not gonna make it. Not gonna make it. So we find one exit and we literally pull over. The car's not even stopped yet. Again, he's only doing 45. So by
Yeah.
the time he's pulling out the exit, it's like 6 miles an hour. I literally just step out. I'm standing on the exit and I relieve myself.
Wow.
Wasn't a quick pee. It was one of those Saturday mornings I haven't peed in
Right.
24 and a half hours. Now I'm going to pee. it felt like
Start, stop.
it felt like 8 minutes. I'm just standing there. Dave's yelling at me, eyes bloodshot red. You have to hurry up. I'm like, Dave, I'm going as fast as I can, bro.
Yeah.
I'm holding onto his car door. He's driving a little Toyota Prius, right?
A guy driving 45 miles an hour down the highway is telling you have to hurry up.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Oh, this
So
is
he's like,
awesome.
we gotta go. I'm like, still going, Dave.
Yeah.
Still going. And I get back in the car. I go, you have to speed up. He goes, no, if they speed up, they'll catch me. I go, if you're doing 45, they're going to catch you. They're gonna pull you over.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
There's
that
definitely
was,
a better chance to catch it because you're still on the road going
he
45.
could run and catch us.
Right.
It was bad. But yeah, that was my story. So
That's
back to,
awesome.
I'm sorry. Back to
That's
what you
okay. So Nick Steele just passed away. I only met him once the night I was with you, and he couldn't have been any nicer,
said.
honestly.
So nice, right?
You know? And I know you guys both went to the service.
Yes.
How about say some good things about Nick?
So you probably knew him better in later life. I think the best thing I could say about Nick was I knew him when he was very young,
Yeah.
when he was it's first starting off, and I'm gonna try and rush this, and I shouldn't, but and then I didn't see him for 15 years, and then the next time I saw him, it was when Bob was running shows, and it was like I hadn't missed a day with him,
Right.
and he was just always like that. He was
Yeah.
just so friendly and so big and strong and
Yeah.
so scary, but he was
Big guy.
Yeah.
He was not a tall guy,
Right.
But wide, thick,
Oh.
like we talk about Rip. We always talk about
Yeah.
Rip being strong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nick was the same way. Nick could just move stuff, like real quick though. Joe
Yeah.
Eastman was in the back seat of the car in the Prius, by the way.
Okay.
He was very, very quiet though. But no, Nick was just an awesome guy.
Yeah.
So fun to have in a locker room. It was a lot like, it was so bizarre because having a conversation with him and Scott Ashworth at the same time, it was a lot. You had to be able to speak Ash and Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they didn't speak. I don't even know what
English.
language it was.
Yeah,
they didn't speak English. But it was a lot of like that kid with the I'd be like, yeah, the kid that plays the guitar. Yeah.
No problem.
No idea, right? I could speak it because I was around him a
Yeah.
lot. But Nick was just always that way. And if you guys get a chance, listen to Johnny Idol's podcast on the one where he starts off with Nick Steele. I think it was 2 episodes ago.
Okay.
Maybe last episode, where he talks about a great story of Nick having a chain match with Rocco Abruzzi.
Oh.
And the referee, Dan Tanaka, screwing it up. Not once, twice. It's one of my favorite wrestling stories.
Oh,
of
I
all
definitely
time.
have to listen
It's
to that.
amazing, and to be able to live there live and live it and see it, because I wouldn't believe it if you told me
Right.
that he screwed it up twice, but he did, and Nick didn't kill anybody. So that's how I knew Nick was an adult.
And Rocco must love that story because for once he didn't screw it up.
Yeah, and Nick didn't kill him for it. Yeah,
So I heard there was a good turnout
Yeah.
for him
yeah,
too.
all the New England dignitaries
Nice.
were there.
That's good, man. Because like I said, I only met him once, Sonny, and he
Dingleberries.
couldn't have been nicer. He really couldn't have
He
been.
actually really enjoyed you. He
You
liked
know?
you. Yeah, he
I
liked
thought he was a great
you.
guy.
He wanted to come to your show, but he goes, New Hampshire, that's far.
Yeah, because I was there. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's far.
Guys, listen, thanks for coming on, and we'll definitely do this again.
Joe Eastman.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.